Okay. So, World Wars episode 11. No. 10. See, I'm getting ahead of myself now. I'm so excited. Episode 10, The Crest of Kindness. Gotta make sure we got that sword for you know? So, The Crest of Kindness. Let's talk about a few things. We're going to get to Micah 7:10. Okay, we'll go to. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Go to Nahum 1. The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. Remember, everyone, wrath, pride, envy, sloth, greed, gluttony, and lust. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. Okay. So, I want to talk about kindness today because it's a very key component to being a Christian, right? So, give you the definition of kindness. The quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. He thanked them for their kindness and support. Or it's a plural noun, a kind act, a good deed, act of assistance, a good turn, favor, service, help, or aid. Okay. Kindness is a type of behavior marked by acts of generosity, consideration, rendering assistance, or concern for others. Okay. We'll talk about charity. An organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need. 2. The voluntary giving of help, typically in the form of money to those in need. Okay. Then we'll go to goodwill. Friendly, helpful, or cooperative feelings or attitude. The plan is dependent on goodwill between the two sides. Benevolence, compassion, kind-heartedness, charity, friendliness, kindliness. See these things all. The established reputation of a business regarded as a quantifiable asset. An example could be something being represented by the excess of the price paid at a takeover for a company over its fair market value. So, I'll address one more thing. A reprobate mind. And the definition of reprobate as an adjective is morally depraved, unprincipled, or bad. Therefore, a reprobate mind is the loss of logic and morality in a person's reasoning. A reprobate mind is given over to irrational pursuits of sin that are destructive to their soul and body and the people around them. So we're going to go to unprincipled. Of a person, of their behavior, not acting in accordance with moral principles. So, I'll get that scripture as well, and we can drill through this all. This is Romans 1:28-32. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them to do them. So the crest of kindness is a totem, if you will, or an idea. It comes from the world of Digimon. See, in Digimon, it's about this digital world, and there's these 8 chosen children, the Digidestined, and they all are used to represent and embody a characteristic or quality of human life, humanity, right? So it's courage, friendship, love, knowledge, hope, light, reliability, and kindness. I'll say them one more time. Courage, friendship, serenity as well, love, knowledge, reliability, hope, light, and kindness. So, in this story, there is a person known as Ken Ichijoji, and he is evil. He is the Digimon Kaiser or Digimon Emperor, and he puts Digimon into bondage and slavery. He takes pride in whipping them and converting them over into darkness. As things develop in the story, Ken gets put into a situation where he realizes that everything he did was wrong. He has a Digimon, and the Digimon dies. So he has to leave the digital world in despair and return home. Right? So when he goes home, he has these rushing memories of his brother Sam. And Sam was a genius and the perfect child. And it made Ken feel smaller than he really was. Sam is getting a Digivice, the tool they use to go back and forth from the digital world and maintain a relationship and bond with their partner Digimon. And he gets a Digivice in his drawer. Sam does, and he thinks it's his. He tells Ken, don't touch my things. I don't want to catch you in here. Da, 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 da. Sam leaves it in his drawer, and Ken goes and touches it and goes into the digital world. It's actually Ken's. We'll fast forward through this. So he gets his partner back and embraces the fact that he has the crest of kindness, and goes on to make friends for the first time. And he is able to forgive himself. And forgiving yourself is just as important as forgiving the next person or seeking forgiveness from someone else, because it's all about you. I can forgive you, but if I can't process what's happened and really understand why I wouldn't do this again or why you did this and that to me, I'll never really be whole. I'm just going through the steps. I'm doing what I'm seeing other people do. You have to forgive yourself when you wrong someone, and you have to seek their forgiveness. It's a two-way street. He makes friends, he has parties, and they all fight together to defeat this dark master, this dark lord named Mallow, like malevolent, Mallow Myotis Mind. Let's take this into the real world now, and I'll talk about a real Ken. So there's a guy named Kenneth Banks Sr. It might be wait a minute. No. Bill has the middle name, Tate. Ken doesn't have a middle name. I remember Bill told me that a while ago. So I'm not even going to focus on their father that much as I'm going to focus on what he instilled in them and their family as a whole. So it's about the crest of kindness today, because I want to talk about the kind of kindness that was shown to me by people in the mission or my church background versus family members or other people in the mission. So I grew up in the mission. We'll skip all the way through to that. I'm gone for a while. When I come back for the first time as a visitor, I'm probably 20 years old, 21. And I go there, nobody recognizes me, nobody remembers me, but Bill does. And that was cool, because I hadn't seen any of them in years, but that was awesome to me to be like, man, it's the same thing. And, we began to, like get a bond, and we saw we had a lot of things in common. We both like sports. We were watching all of the Marvel movies. We built a bond, and I didn't really know Bill like that, personally. You just know someone in a professional capacity, through the church. And what I began to realize was like, man, he's a good guy. But you never really know, and you're not anticipating that, and you don't necessarily need that. I didn't know I needed a good person and a good friend around me. So as time went on, I started hitting a lot of rocks in my life, man. I had a lot of things going on, like mentally, trying to navigate through this thing we call life and what was going on in my family at the time, as well as just my own personal endeavors, things that I was dealing with. So imagine a person bringing you, into their home frequently, bringing you around their family frequently, giving you a ride wherever you needed to go. It was times I wanted to go to the psych ward, and I would have, Bill took me, man, and never judged me. Whenever I would call him, even if I was in there, he would always answer, or he would call back. I didn't even call my family in there. So, you just got to keep all this in mind. We're going to keep it going. There would be times I would need food, or like, man, can I have a couple dollars? You never say no. And we're not blood related. This was just all out of something that he told me eventually. He was like, man, you know why I always help you or why I do whatever? I was like, no, I don't know. And I'm one of those people, I'm always fine. I'm like, nah, I don't know. And he said, because I got love for you, man. And the kind of person that I am, you know, you hear things from your family members, from your close friends. I always take the compliments that I get from people that just know me based on character. They don't know my background or my family or this, that. He does, but he was basing this upon how we treated each other in the current time. It was nothing about that he knew my great grandmother, or he knew this, or he knew that. This was just based on how he felt and how he knew he could support me. Now think about how many times you have the ability to support someone, or you could be the difference maker, and you sit back idly by and do nothing. He never did that. So I'm telling you, this is a key thing. When I mentioned it earlier, we're going to go back to the textbook definition of kindness. The quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. He thanked them for their kindness and support. Goodwill, affection, warmth, tenderness, concern, care, altruism. This is something Bill and I talk about all the time. Being altruistic, being good for the sake of just being good. Not looking for some light at the end of the tunnel or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What if you're just doing this just to do it? You know, so I wanted to share that. And there's also one more thing. Public spiritedness. Willing to help the wider community. Socially concerned. Community minded. Those public spirited people who call attention to low standards in high places. You know, where I was going with this all was that, you know, Brother Banks, you know, Bill and Ken's father, I hear so many stories from them and from others, and I've heard my own, you know, even off the street versions, and like they're always commendable. I was able to get a sense to understand that kindness was something he instilled in his children. And I have to just, of course, I always said him, I appreciate it. I'll say it here now because that's something that I believe not only, you know, the black community or the church community as a whole, the world is missing kindness. So if you can be that person and you can be that light in someone's life, or you could be the love, you could be the friendship, you could be the knowledge, you could be the reliability, you could be the hope, you could be the light, you could be the serenity, you could be the friendship or the courage. You have to do that. You know, that's the calling. So we're going to charge you with that. I'll do episode 11, Attack of the Flesh, soon. Just give me a second.